The one down here that's like 47 seconds.
Yeah, that's the one I started it.
There you go. It just popped on.
Okay. And can y'all see me now? Can you hear me now? All right. I think, okay, there we are. All right. Okay. Now I got to start all over. I was dropping some really cool shit too, and y'all were just oblivious to it. Okay, so what's up? DVS, OG Tango, Jimbot Lotus, Shannon, hanging with Christopher, living and active, Raziel, Sedition, Mr. Hurst, Wayne Beatty. All right. You are an idiot. Yo, no, you're an IDOT. Oh, idiot. Okay. Yeah, that's what you meant, Jim. Okay. Jim's calling people idiots, which tells us all we need to know about Jim. Anybody who results to insults means that they have no other argument. All right. Well, prove that the earth is flat, Jim, and without calling me an idiot. KDE versus GNOME. I can put my 2 cents in there. I've used GNOME a lot, mostly GNOME, and but I've been using KDE a little bit here recently, so I'm comfortable with GNOME. But KDE is pretty cool. If I had to go to my default, I would go to GNOME, though. I'm really used to it. Uh, well, I just by force need to completely ignore you, Jim. I'm not going to block you because I believe in the freedom of speech and I don't believe in censorship. But I do not have to. I do not have to respond to your dumb shit. All right, Heat Racer, what's up, Heat Racer? Glad to see you here. Yeah, yeah. The most likely he's been on here before. He says he's Gen X Heat Racer, but I have my doubts. We'll see. I think it's just a bot that that found a home. Just another guy in the woods. What's up? All right. So what I was talking about earlier that everybody missed, and what happened here was serious technical malfunction, but the malfunction happened between my ears. Yeah. Yeah. I just hit end live stream. I started the live stream and then I hit the end live stream button instead of the move the live stream button. I got another thing where I changed scenes and I'm just not thinking. I hit the end live stream button. So I had to restart it and that threw everything into a convulsion. So, yeah, it was all my fault. It was nothing. It wasn't Agent Smith or anything. It was Agent Jesse, Agent Dumbass, if you will. All right. Uh, oh, you got more snow, OG? That sucks, dude. All right, Sedition. Yeah, we're back. All right. So, what I meant to start talking about this morning, I was watching Underground's playlist, right? And uh, these people going off grid and gardening and doing all this cool shit, and some of these places are just awesome, and these people are living the way I would like to live. That's my goal. But we have completely different reasons for living that way. A lot of them. All right, because talk, the interview and stuff, and they were talking about it. And the reason they were doing this and moving out there and living in this style was because of climate change. All right. Yeah, I'm doing this because of climate change. And, I believe that climate change is real. And when I hear people say that, about, I think climate change is real, it blows my mind. Okay. Of course, climate change is real. That it's the nature of the climate is to change. Then what would what would our planet be like if the climate never changed? We'd still be in an ice age. It must change. It's just insane. And then over on the right, you'll hear the exact opposite. Climate change is a hoax. Uh, no, no, it really isn't. It's very real, uh, and they're just so far on each end that their arguments are utterly ridiculous. And I'm caught in the middle here with all this nonsense, all this insanity, and I'm trying to make sense of it. Because I'll say, yeah, our planet is important. We should not pollute it and destroy it. We should conserve it and try to do our best for our climate, or for our planet, for the environment. And all the people on the right are, think I'm some kind of left wing lunatic if I say shit like that. And then if I say, well, climate change is real, but it's got nothing to do with people. Um, the climate is going to change no matter what we do. Well, everybody on the left, call me a right wing lunatic and shit. So you can't win for losing when you just think about shit with common sense and actually observe the world and see how things are going. We shouldn't just be putting species completely extinct in the name of our currency and stock market and shit. We shouldn't be destroying habitats, cutting down rainforests. Come on now. We all know this stuff. And it just blows my mind that people get so far out of whack with their way of thinking, that they can't just come together and agree on some basic fundamental shit. The reason I want to live off grid, that's my goal, is to decouple myself from the system, from the surveillance state that we're living in now. I mean, we're being surveilled, we're being tracked, monitored, monetized. I don't want to live like that. I don't want anybody to have that kind of control over me. I don't just the idea of being a commodity to be traded and sold does not sit well with me. And another thing was that I saw last year sometime one of those big name politicians was saying that the Second Amendment, or the First Amendment rather, the freedom of speech, made it difficult for them to govern us. This came out of a politician's mouth. The First Amendment made it difficult for them to govern us. And that's just been rattling around in the back of my mind for a year now. And then we look at the term government, and and it's just a thing that we know. It's the people that take care of the roads and collect taxes and stuff and whatever. But I really got to thinking about it. So I looked up the word govern, and they put governors on cars, and we have governors in office in each state. And so what does the word govern mean? So I didn't know. I had an idea because of the governor on a car, I had an idea. I'm 54 years old. I'll admit it. I didn't know the definition of the word govern. I didn't know it. A vague idea of it, but not really. So I looked it up in Webster's dictionary, and it means to control. For those of you, maybe there might be one or two of you out there who were in the same boat that I was, as far as being ignorant about the definition of that word. A lot of people are ignorant about words, racism, govern. We're kind of brainwashed into thinking that these words mean something rather than what they do. Yeah. streaming video service without internet. Yeah. See, that's the kind of shit we need to start doing. And I'm serious about it. I'm not even playing around. But so govern means to control. That's what it means. You put a governor on a car or on an engine to control its speed. You put a government on a people to control them. Point blank. That it is a source of control. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Going into Walmart is like a scene from Idiocracy. Yeah, sedition, become ungovernable. Buzzwords, yeah, Christopher, exactly. Racism, transphobia, all this stuff. These words are used in ways that go against their true meaning, the true definition of the words. And so these governors, these governments, these people who want to govern, they're saying it out loud that they want control. They want to control us. And free thinking people, we're uncontrollable. We're ungovernable because we use our minds, right? And I believe that is important, and we cannot let that go. We can't. We can't give up. We can't give up our control for love of and dependence on AI and convenience. This shit coming down the pipe, AI and people becoming dependent on this shit. Well, who controls AI? If you become dependent on AI, then you're being controlled by those that control AI. You're being told what they want you to hear. You're being, indoctrinated with their beliefs. It's insane. Buzzwords are psyops. Yeah. Lucas Carter. What's up, Lucas? Glad to see you here. Off-grid long-range comms. Okay, I'll check those out too. Ungovernable since 1974, Rex. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Christopher. Psychic, gut feeling, intuition. Yeah. Okay, become ungovernable, caught on. Yeah, and that's a truth. That's actually good advice in this day and age we're living in today, right? Become ungovernable by the definition of that word. I'm not talking about all this bullshit. Violence and hysteria and anarchy and all this shit. I'm talking about quietly ungovernable. Just like these people who are going off grid because of climate. People can choose to go off grid to be ungovernable, to detach from the system. MJ, what's up? Glad to see you here. Chicago. Yeah. How's it going up there? Yeah, know stuff without knowing that you know it. Yeah. Yeah, dynamic pricing in stores. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, where that kind of you can see that kind of shit, coming. Imagine that, Shannon, if they can with the system they have, okay, because Google and Android, Apple, they know all about your digital life. They know, how much money you're spending, how much money you have spent in the past. If you've gone in there and bought some honey in the past, and the prices were up and but you bought it anyway, it was $3 or $4 more expensive this week, but I'm going to buy it. Google knows that. Okay. So for stores to put these digital price tags on the shit and adjust that when you come by, they know that it's you coming by and they know you will buy it at a higher price. Well, they'll just adjust the prices accordingly as you walk down the aisles. If you don't think that that's in the future, yeah, again, there's this beautiful mountain chalet ski resort in Miami that I wanted to show you. Um, yeah, I only take Zelle though. I will take crypto. I'll take Bitcoin if you want to buy it in Bitcoin. I'll cut you a deal. Knowledge is power. Yeah, yeah. MJ, our cell phones know everything that we do, every dime we spend, everywhere we go, everyone we talk to, everything we say, everything. They know how much we sleep, all that shit. Yeah, whoever can control the narrative controls the masses, and the media has the most power. Yeah, Light Day. Sock hops and awesome cars, living. Yeah, facial recognition. Oh yeah, Shannon. Yeah, that shit's coming. Yeah, half prices in sales. That's the same shit. MJ, that's the precursor to what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, heat racer. Yeah, we all are. Yeah, we're worried about the kids' future. They're going to be basically digital slaves. We're debt slaves. We've been debt slaves since 1913, since they instituted that Federal Reserve, the privately owned bank. Um, but yeah, they're going to basically be digital slaves hooked into the internet via some blockchain. They're not going to be real people anymore. They're going to be assets on a blockchain. And this shit is just coming. It's coming. Uh, some of these things we can look at and you can just see, look at the past and the direction the road is going. And if you just project that into the future, it's coming. Serious businessmen accept iTunes gift cards. All right, all right, all right. You got me, Roz. I'll accept iTunes gift cards for my chalet, my Miami ski resort. Oh, all right, AF. Glad to see you here. What's up, AF? Hope everything's going good with you. We all sent you prayers and vibes. I hope they're working out for you. Oh, your cell phone doesn't know squat. All right, that's good. A dumb smartphone. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's part of what we're doing here. And we're not. It's not a fast overnight process, but that's part of what we're doing here, Christopher, is trying to figure out how do we make it better. Yeah, yeah. They're getting old. They are reluctant to let go of that power into their 80s and shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like being at work and holding on to power, but they're still on vacation. You know, because it must be wonderful if you want to stay. If you don't want to retire, it must be a damn nice place to be. So that's I can't understand that. Have you heard of Zennials? Yeah, I've heard of Zennials. Oh, you slept 24 hours straight? Damn, AF, I'm sorry. You woke up and now you're eating? Okay, AF. Well, I hope things get better fast. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly underground. We make it better by living the example. So, and even if it's a slow process, a lot of us are we're hooked into the machine. We're part of the system. We're a cog in the machine, and it's going to take a while to completely uncouple from that and to wake people up by example, not by shouting at them and telling them they're wrong. And because we know that doesn't work. We've got to wake people up by setting an example. Uh, And that's where I think a lot of people make mistakes, because just shouting at each other across the aisle, that doesn't do anything. We've got to just set the example. Now, no one stands together. We lose what we have to get what we want, but we cannot stick together for fear of losing what we have. Exactly, Folding Ladder. What's up, Folding Ladder? Glad to see you here. But that's well said. That's exactly what the problem is. Yeah. We're so addicted to this plastic Chinese bullshit and the internet and the lies and the deceit that we're afraid to lose it. So we can't stand up together, because no one will stand with me. If I go out on the street right now and hold up a sign, I'll just look like a lunatic out there by myself. No one's gonna quit their job and come out there and stand with me. And you can't ask them to. You can't ask them to watch their, or you can't ask them to become homeless and watch their families go hungry and shit while they go out there and protest. You can't do that. That's not fair. So how do we change it in another way? How do we change it? We've come up with ideas. Stop giving them our attention. Stop voting with our dollar in the wrong way. We need to start voting with our dollar in the right way. Stop giving these huge corporations, these monopolies, our money. Buy from small, hopefully, local places, and stop giving these huge conglomerates our money, which they then use to lobby politicians to cut our throats. 15 in Columbia, is that Missouri or Montana? JPC. Hats with LEDs, infrared LEDs to flat out cameras. Okay. One just bought his first home. That's good, Heat Racer. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Lucas. There are going to be people who have to decouple from the internet, who were born into it, never lived life without the internet, don't know what it's like, or would be scared to death at the thought of losing it. So that's what we're going up against. Yeah, hopefully not many people lied to their kids. The Dow is over 50,000, Armor Ghost. Yeah. Yeah, shout across the aisle. The Dow is over 50,000. Yeah, exactly, Armor Ghost. Yeah, exactly. Underground, again, underground. Tell people it's cool to start small. The more small positive changes you make, the more confidence you'll gain to do bigger changes. Exactly. We start small. We start together, and we start small. And we start living a decent life and decoupling ourselves from the internet. Look up phones that don't use Google or Android. That's a good place to start. They have phones out there. You can order a phone. Now, if you have the money, you can order one, because, of course, those kind of phones, they don't get promoted by the big phone companies, right? You can't buy a Pine phone or a Librem 5 on for $25 a month, like you can an iPhone or a Samsung, right? So you've just got to fork over the whole amount, $600 or whatever it is. So that's another way we're trapped into using their system. We're caught. Yeah. Quit telling crazy people they're right, Rusty. Yeah. Family, food, and firearms. The 3 Fs. Yeah, Heat Racer. Yeah. That's a good start, MJ. Try to support local businesses. You can't do it all at once. but people try to bite off more than they can chew, instead of doing one thing. A good thing I've been promoting once in a while, and I have no vested interest at all. But it's an app called Buyer, BUY''R. But you can get that app and you can just scan the barcode of an item in the grocery store, and it will tell you who owns that company, whether it's a big company like PepsiCo, a big corporate conglomerate, or a little single family owned place. It'll tell you, because those big conglomerates, they hide it. They don't put, Monsanto or Pepsi or Coke or anything on their bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? They hide that shit. They bought Mama's hometown chips and just kept that label, So when you buy Mama's hometown chips, you're actually buying Pepsi or Coke or whatever, Bleach or whatever, whatever company owns the shit. But if you buy from the right one and you look it up and say, okay, this is a single owner mom and pop place, even if it's a, $100 million company, it's small nowadays. So as long as it's single owner, family owned, something like that, privately owned, not one of these big corporate monopolies. Brax 3 phones are good. Okay. I've never heard of those. Yeah. Yeah. You can de-Google your phone. One good way to de-Google is just, Microsoft anyway, both is to use Linux wherever you can. On your computer, on your, you can, depending on your phone, you can get Linux on your phone. You can buy a phone with Linux pre-installed on it. And they actually have other Play stores, like the Google Play Store, where they upload their apps, but it's not Google. So you can get a lot of the same apps and games and stuff just from a different Play Store that nobody knows about, because it's not, they keep that information corralled. Analog Kid, what's up? Erica's here. There you go, Erica. What's up, Erica? Yeah, I did. Fast food taught me to hate fast food. Heat. Yeah. Yeah, not rated for human consumption. Yeah, that would be so awesome. Yeah. Well, the point might be other kids and other families. We can try to help. Yeah, PinePhone is Linux, Raziel. We can help educate and educate by living by example, Roz. We can help a lot more than just our immediate family. We can help families across the nation, across Western civilization, by just promoting common sense and truth. Raising quail for 15 years, yeah, that's one thing I've said before. I want to get quail in the near future. Nokia 3310 has better battery life. Yeah. Well, that's one thing we can always look forward to, is the apocalypse. a, a physical reset through an act of God, right? That's we've always got that to look forward to. You've been doing your research on McDonald's and it's not good for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you bet your ass it's not good for you, MJ. Yeah, I haven't eaten at McDonald's, I bet you, in 20-25 years, something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't eat there unless I was literally starving, and I was so damn hungry and that was the only place around. And the next, my only other option was like eating something like grass or bark or something. Yeah, yeah, exactly, OG. And we got to get past this whole convenience thing, right? And start cooking more and try to do, however we can. Not in you don't have to sell everything you own and become uh, a green thumb gardener and stuff, but grow a little bit. Start growing a little bit. Look at how easy it is to make your own bread. There you go. Look into that. Um, Look how easy it is to make your own dried fruits and stuff, and beef jerky and stuff. Uh, Freeze drying all kinds of stuff. And then all those chemicals aren't in your stuff, in your food, especially if you've raised the food yourself. But we can do these in small increments. I started out with making my own bread in a bread machine, and I'm growing a little bit in my garden. Uh, I'm just, I've only taken like 2 baby steps, but I want to get to where I'm running. You know what I mean? Full on running with this system I have in mind. Yeah, yeah, Erica, the lemon juice concentrate. Yeah, yeah. Sick of being nickel and dimed. Jim from Maryland, what's up? That would not surprise me. Yeah, I'd rather eat the bag that the McDonald's food comes in. Yes, edition. Canning, another good one. Yeah, not part of anything AF. Yeah. So the main the main point we need to get across is what is the point that Underground made earlier. You can start small. You can start very small and work your way into something and make these things. See, because the media and society has made these kind of lifestyles uh, outside of the norm, right? You're weird if you raise quail. You're weird if you have a garden. You're weird if you want to go off grid and have some solar power, or even solar backup or whatever. You're off. You know, you're just something's not right upstairs. You're a little weird, right? We need to normalize this. We need to push back against that programming, that psyop, that propaganda, and make it normal. Make it weird to be a politician. Not only weird, make it disgusting. Make it embarrassing to be a politician. This is the kind of normalization that we need to start at the ground roots, at the fundamental level. That's how we push back. That's how we make change, in my estimation. After talking with Laic and Underground and Raziel and all of you others, AF and Erica, Shannon, this is how we need to push back. This is how we fix things. Grassroots, real fundamental changes in society at the ground level. Jumping up on the internet and screaming across the ether that someone you're an idiot, the earth isn't flat, or it is flat, or the climate is or it isn't, or the Republican, Democrat, and all this bullshit we're bombarded with, and all these reasons we have to be angry at our fellow man, all these reasons we have to shout and scream at our fellow human beings. It's all bullshit. We need to start at home, grassroots, fundamental, and just start living the example, and just do it. Just do it. Do it in small measured steps, but do it. Not worry. Hearst. Yeah, Hearst too. Hearst. Not worried. 8 billion people on Earth. Not worried what they all think. Yeah, yeah. Purple Rose, what's up? Oh, Purple Pros, what's up? Yeah, stop voting for boomers, stop voting for lawyers. If you want to vote, if you're just convinced that voting is the way out of this, don't vote for lawyers. Don't do it. Not if you actually want to make change. Yeah, Erica, yeah, like car sale, yeah, used car salesperson, yeah. Yeah, garden ripe tomatoes, a simple pleasure in life. Oh, all right, MJ. Yeah, I drink mine every morning, dude. Yep. Yeah, cayenne pepper and turmeric. Yeah, yeah. They exist to peddle a worn out and unsafe item for as much profit as they can. Yeah, Purple Pros. Yep. No boomers, no lawyers. Let's start electing plumbers and waitresses. They cannot do any worse than these lawyers have. I'm telling you. Uh, anybody, anybody. Oh yeah, I love growing sunflowers too. Those are good. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, underground. Yeah, Rex, vote for yourself. Yeah, there you go. What if every voter decided to run for president? In two old pool sand filters, grow potatoes. Yeah, I have those potato sacks, my wife got me. I grow sweet potatoes. Yeah, we need working class folks in DC. Heat racer, yeah. Um, across the board. Now you're gonna get people like some dumb masses in there like AOC, people like that. You're gonna get them. Don't get me wrong. She was a waitress or a bartender or something. Yeah, you're gonna get them. But AOC should not be allowed to be in there until she's 80 years old. So if you put that in there, if you get some good people in there, uh, in the rest of the states up there for Congress and stuff, plumbers, taxi drivers, mechanics, just regular normal people, and they go up there and they institute term limits. Now we're fixing shit. Yeah, no more billionaire vampires. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Imagine what all those boomer politicians would be doing in society if they hadn't been rotting away in DC for the last 60 years. Most of them would probably be lawyers. They would have continued on with their law career and just robbed people on a smaller scale. We elect Vermin Supreme and get our free ponies. Yeah. Yeah. Talking smack on politicians and lawyers. You're triggered, Wayne Beatty. Yeah. Yeah, we have to, though. We've got to make it just completely, completely embarrassing to be a politician. So when the the transmission mechanic gets elected to become a politician, he wants to get back to being a mechanic as fast as he can. He's going to go in there and he's going to do his damn job for whatever his term is, and he's going to get the hell out. He's not even going to want to run again for a second term if it's allowed then. He's going to want to get back out. But while he's there, because he knows that he's going to be a mechanic again, he's going to make decisions that benefit him while he's a mechanic, not while he's living a life of luxury on Capitol Hill. That's what we need. Yeah, yeah. Just another guy in the woods. There he is, Lake. Elect people who don't want the job. Yeah. Yeah, the trees elect the axe because it has a wooden handle. Yeah, Hurst. Be your own governor. Yeah. Control. Yeah. Exactly. OG. Yeah. The price of having a soul. Yep. Yeah. Having to give it to lawyers. What a corrupt system it is, AF. Yep. And now these lawyers get up into office and they pass laws to enable the law, the justice system to rob more people. You know, it's insane because all of their friends were lawyers, all of their family are lawyers. You know what I mean? So that's why it's just the justice system is just highway robbery. It's a looting. Yeah, congressional appointment by compulsory draft, something like that. Yeah, just like jury duty. It was Bucky who brought that up a while back. Bucky said, Congress should be like jury duty. Oh yeah, yeah. Leave some so they could go to seed in the spring. That's a good idea. Yeah, Alpha thinks we're crazy old. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, he who is desperate for the seat of power is the least suitable for it. Lucas, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the transmission mechanic needs to educate the transmission engineers. Oh yeah, should get minimum wage salary, minimum housing. Yeah, all of that. They should not be afforded luxuries so that they want to stay a politician. It should be uncomfortable so that they want to get the hell out of there. Make life realistic again. Yeah. Yeah, polyculture, more weeds and grass, grow flowers. Yeah, exactly. Underground. Yeah, oh gee, that's another thing we need to that needs to be addressed. The banking system. We need to start somewhere. Oh, okay. They associate their grandpas being old. All right. Yeah, make working in the middle class great again. Yeah, make just average normal people used to have pride in that. Now, there's no pride in working. The only pride there is in being fake and going viral. Yeah, anyone who wants to create more is a no go. Yeah, yeah, purple. Yeah, the parents wanted to hang with the kids, Christopher. Yeah, sedition. A lot of weeds that we call weeds are edible and medicinal. But society and we've been coaxed into believing that that you know the greatest thing is to kill off every weed and just grow a manicured lawn. All the other living plants are pests. Bring back AM radio, or you can only pick one. Um, Shit, that'd be a tough one for me. I guess I'd say the three TV networks, if they were real, if we could bring them back the way they used to be. Yeah, better off waitressing at Olive Garden at 19 than you are now. And you're not alone. You're not alone. Our money had more value back then, so we could get more with less. Yeah, hold fast to that which is good and upright. Hold the paths and find rest for your soul. Yeah, Lucas, yep, I agree. Yeah, dandelions, I've heard that about dandelions. Yep. No, we try to get rid of them. We poison them and try to get them out of our yards and shit as best we can. Yeah, those HOAs, yeah, don't get me started on the HOAs living underground. Build self-reliance into your life so as time goes on, you need less money every day. And this is a truth that I think a lot of people miss out on, that I at a fundamental level I'm trying to change the way I think about it. But and I'm been very successful with this, but still I catch myself thinking the other way sometimes. But to be rich means that you can have or buy anything you want. That's the goal of being rich. That is rich, right? That is successful. So all we really need to do to be rich is to want less. That's it. If you want less, if you can pare that down to where you want only what you can afford, and then you have some extra money left over at the end of the month. Shit, what am I going to do with this? Oh, well, I'll just set it aside. Maybe I'll buy some silver with it or something. I got everything I want. I don't want any of that shit out there. I don't want any of that shit they're trying to hawk me. I don't need the latest iPhone. I don't need the hottest new game. I don't need, I've got everything I want right here. I'm looking around me. I got everything I want. I've got good food, good healthy food. My quail and chickens and ducks are healthy and happy out there. I'm living a good life. I don't want anything else. Then you're rich. So that's and again, back to by design, the programming and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're tricked into believing that being rich is having the money to buy all of the stuff that they say we should buy. Now I'm pushing back against that, and I'm saying that to be rich, uh, all you have to do is want less. Don't buy the shit they say that you need. Don't buy the things they say that you can't live without now. They can't tell me what I need, what I can't live without. I make that decision myself. I decide whether to be happy with the things I have. And that's basically, I mean, that's just the honest, basic truth, you know? And if more people would look at that, uh, but we're tricked into thinking we need to support the economy by spending every single dime we have to get all this bullshit that we don't need. Tons of plants that we're not supposed to have. Yeah. Yeah, Raziel. Yep. Groundnut, asparagus, leeks, elderberries, fiddleheads. Yep. Oh yeah, most weeds, most plants, AF. Yeah. No, but there are quite a few. There are so many plants out there. But there are so many plants out there that are not good for you. Not only are they're poisonous. So not everything that comes from a plant is good. Yeah. And that's another thing that plant based and all this shit, all these artificial sweeteners that are they're not artificial, they're all natural sweeteners because they come from a plant. I don't trust that shit. Yeah. Just because it comes from a plant doesn't mean it's good for you. Yeah, being rich, exactly, AF. Being rich is not having to buy any of that bullshit they push. Yeah. Yeah, contentment is almost illegal. It wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if they outlawed it. Purple. Yeah. Yeah, Rusty, just speaking the truth and trying to live it will change your life. Just the truth. That simple thing right there will change your life. Do I need that? What is true? Do I need that? They tell me I need it, that I can't live without it. And this is marketing terminology. This is marketing language. You can't live without this. I've you don't know how many times I've heard that about a computer or a phone or whatever gadget, tech gizmo. You can't live without this. What is the truth? Can I live without that? Will I survive? And so it basically boils down to that. Question everything and live the truth. I can live without that. I can live without all this shit. I can literally take every TV, every phone, every microphone, every camera in my house right now and throw that shit in the dumpster. And I think I'd be alive tomorrow morning when I woke up. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. I would bet on it. I would bet that I would survive, that I could live without all this shit. Yeah, the earth is a supermarket if you have the eyes to see. Yeah. You're finally waking up, Hurst? All right. Crawdads and fiddleheads, old coffee can. Yeah. Yeah. Will you survive without going savage? Well, that's not a guarantee going savage. We might go a little savage. Yeah, we survived without all that shit, Rusty, and we're still here. Yeah, you damn right. They like their extra hot coffee, MJ. Yeah, water, food, and shelter. Yep. Yeah, kids would adapt. Yeah. Oh yeah. Kids are adaptable. No, okay. Yeah, other than that, yeah, living a lot of this technology I have now is for my YouTube channel. Other than that, I go all day. I only actually use technology for a couple hours a day, with the TV or whatever, and my YouTube channel. Most of the time at work, I'm not using it. Then I'm going to sleep 8 hours of the day. So most of the time, I'm not using it. Dolby, what's up, Dolby? Glad to see you here. Oh, all right. Well, thanks for listening. Yeah, foldable wood stove. Yeah, Lucas, that's a good idea. Yeah, I can't go savage when we're already there. Yeah, that's true, Christopher. Yeah, they would be better off, in my opinion. OG. Yeah, mine too. Yeah, Roz. Yeah, that's true. Solid community. Yep. We can't overlook that. I mean, a person could go out and, I guess, technically go out and live by themselves, but still, you most you, most people wouldn't make it. You need a community around you. You need people to rely on at times, and mankind has proven that throughout history. Oh, you listen to Spotify or Audible? Okay, yeah, that's what I don't do Audible. I do Libro FM, but yeah, I like to own my shit. Spotify with old school music, 90s and early 2000s music. MJ, yeah, I listen to music from the 70s all the way up through early 2000s. Yeah. All right, OG. Your mom? Yeah, that's good to hear. Okay. I didn't know that about sassafras. Why the hell do they make this kind of shit illegal? If somebody wants to grind up some sassafras and I want to buy it from them, what the hell? You know? That shit doesn't make sense to me. These victimless crimes just blow my mind. Yeah, none of us can hold guard 24/7 alone. Yeah, we got to sleep. Yeah, that's true. Uh, and a good point brought up by Raziel there. Community is also a necessity. Elmo was huge in the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, because it's good for you underground. Yeah. The sassafras thing. Yep. You can get pain reliever out of it. Okay, DVS. Sassafras was sassafras was in root beer. Yeah, I think I remember that until it was outlawed. Yeah, that shit. They passed laws against that shit, and that why society has allowed them to do that stuff just really boggles my mind. All right, everybody, our hour is up. So I will say goodbye. Again, I apologize for this morning for the technical foul up. But it was just all my fault. Can't blame that one on Google or Agent Smith or anybody. I just hit the wrong button. So my apologies for that. Hopefully y'all aren't too pissed off at me. But let's see. What is today? Monday. So tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time will be our next live stream, and then tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. we'll have another one. So I invite y'all to hang out with me then. We'll do some more good talking. You know, we need to discuss this same kind of stuff. We need to keep talking about this and make it okay. Uh, just by not by shouting from the rooftops that the other people are wrong and all this shit. Just by living the example and making good decisions, right? And and changing what is normal, changing what is considered to be normal and okay. It's going to be normal and okay to be healthy and to be uncontrollable, to be ungovernable. We're going to make it normal, and that is well within our power, I believe. We just got to do it. All right. So I'll say goodbye to Hanging with Christopher, DVS, Electronic Music Underground, Living and Active, Jeff 7, Sedition, Rusty Doob, Mr. Hurst, Lucas Carter, Raziel, MJ, Purple Pros, Jeff 7, Econ and Cohorts, Sedition, Oliver Rust, OG Tango. Who else we got here? Wayne Beatty. There he is. Mr. Hurst, Rusty Doob, Shannon AF. Erica was here earlier. Dog Karma was here. Analog Kid. All right. Quite a few people this morning, even though I fumbled the damn ball this morning with my kickoff. Y'all still managed to find me and managed to turn it into a good conversation. So thank you very much. I already said Sedition, I think. Purple Pros. Who else we got? Just Another Guy in the Woods was here, aka my boy Leg. I'm going to have to get him back on here and have another conversation one of these days. Heat Racer. Can't forget Heat Racer. Rex Chaoticus was here. Hell yeah. All right. So, I think Jim from Maryland was here. Yeah. Can't forget Jim either. All right, now I think I have gotten everyone. All right. So if I haven't called out your name, I apologize, but I appreciate you hanging out with me. And today's spiel, we dedicate the spiel for the new subscribers and new visitors. We dedicate the spiel every day, just like they did on radio shows back in the 80s. We do a dedication. And today's spiel is dedicated to Wayne Beatty. Wayne Beatty over there in New Zealand. This spiel is for you, Wayne Beatty. Thank you for being a longtime subscriber and contributor to the channel, contributor to the conversation, Wayne. I appreciate your support very much. So thank you so much. All right, Wayne. And thank all of you, especially the members. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. So y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. As always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, it's only $2.99 a month, and I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. But I really appreciate all the support from the members out there. This is the members banner here, and I really appreciate these people. They support the channel directly through memberships, and it helps out a lot, so thank you very much to all the members. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X things and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, hoodies, all kinds of stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description too for any of you who are interested. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Things, please put those down in the comments, or you can email us, and the email is genxthings@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.